We finally have a nice day here in Ontario. It is 20 degrees Celsius outside and sunny, not a cloud in the sky, just in time for rain tomorrow. They're calling for it. Monday, mid-morning, close to lunchtime. Looks like a busy week this week actually, and not a lot of shop time. Shipping 8 loads of wheat out. Soft red winter wheat that's been stored in the bins here. So we did 2 trucks this morning, first thing, and then waiting for a truck to come back to do a second load. So 3 loads today. I think 1 Tuesday, 1 Wednesday, 2 Thursday, and 1 Friday is the schedule. I'm just going over here to the newer grain setup that we did this winter and last fall. Just had to turn the sump up on for the pit. You got a little bit waterlogged here, and there's actually some ice that was still melting in the pit area, as you can see down here. So just unplugged that so it's done draining. There's no more water in there. I'm gonna have to get some mats for the pit area here. I just haven't done that yet. I'll do a review sometime and talk about my grain setup. It's not quite finished yet. We still gotta do electrical on it. I think once I get the electrical and the rest of the mill writing done, there's still a little bit that's left to do. I'll go over our system here and give you an idea of what it is and how it works. But right now, because it's not really quite done, I'm just going to leave that for another time. My sprayer, it's got home here just this morning. Sandy took me over to the dealership to grab it in Seaforth, and I'll work away this afternoon after I load the last truck of wheat. I'm going to get the tips on it and make sure she's all ready to go for 28 on the wheat, and try to get some of that done hopefully this week before it rains again. They're talking rain tomorrow, but anyways, these are my beauties. Just put them on this year. Big floater tires, 650. So I'm feeling pretty good about having them on this year, because ground conditions are going to be probably catchy here for the next couple weeks. We really need to get the 28 on to get the wheat kind of cracking along here, and maybe hopefully save some crappier wheat, and that's just going to help us. We had 320s on before. It's not a heavy sprayer, but I figured with 650s we'll just float across a lot better, and it will stay out of the strip. On our strip till stuff, we were having problems where we'd fall into the strip with a narrow tire, and it'd be hard to get it out. So with this wider tire, we can do a whole bunch of this pre-emerge chemical stuff before the corn gets up and beans get up, and then we can switch back to the narrow tires for the summer when field conditions are hopefully better. I gotta get a few pieces of equipment home yet that are at that other shed, our cultivator and roller mainly, so probably I'll try to do that maybe Wednesday, because tomorrow's talking rain, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, keep you posted. here unfolded, and I'm just going to go along and put the 28 tips on and get it ready for doing 28 hopefully later this week. These tips for case, they're a little bit different. They got a different end on it. Like they have a cap here on them for this bypass that comes out of the aim. So I have the aim command system on this, so it's got solenoids that run each nozzle, and they run them individually, so you can shut off each one on its own. There's this bypass that bypasses the aim system, so then I can just run kind of like a standard sprayer style tip and pressure and rate controller stuff. So to put my fertilizer tips on, I got to put this adapter on first that takes a T-jet tip, and then I just got to put my blue T-jet fertilizer tip on, and that's all we got to do. And then I got to turn this valve on here, which what that does is it bypasses this nozzle here and then sends it here, and I bypass the aim. The cool thing about the Aim Command Pro system is that each nozzle will shut off on its own. It'll do turn compensation, and if I set my pressure to be 50 pounds in the field, it doesn't matter if I drive 4 miles an hour or 10 miles an hour, this solenoid here will adjust the pressure to maintain it always at 50 pounds. So it's great for ensuring that we don't have spray drift and that we can keep our products on target. These gray nozzles, even with the aim command system off, they still want to put product through these gray tips. So I just kind of went around and made sure all these valves were correct. We'll kind of have to watch it, and if it causes me problems, I can actually it's a bit of a pain in the butt, but I can cap them all. Take one of these black caps here and put them, take the gray tips off and put the black cap over the gray tip, but shouldn't have to do that. I don't remember doing that last year, or I didn't do it last year. So hopefully it'll be okay. It just could be some pressure. The sprayer should be ready to go here for 28%. I'm just going to basically give it a quick grease on the boom while it's folded out here, and put her away for the night. Tuesday. Still nice outside so far. It's supposed to rain. There's a band of rain coming across the lake right now, kind of up from the south. It's got some heavier cells in it, so hopefully we dodge that. Looks like there's a chance again this afternoon, but they're only calling for a total of like 0.2 of an inch or 5 mils basically. So I'm just going to load another truck of wheat here, hopefully get that done before there's rain, and then I think we'll just play it by ear to see what this rain does and whether we can get some equipment home for field work. The forecast looks decent until Saturday, so if we can get some of this stuff home and get a few things done and we don't get much rain today, we actually might be in the fields sometime the end of the week. So just going to make sure we're ready for that. Got the wheat loaded this morning in the drizzly rain, which sucked. Looks like we got maybe 0.2 of rain. I thought a little thunderstorm rolled through, so things look wet again, which just makes me really grumpy. So my day has kind of changed now because I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. Probably will work on getting some 28 mixed up here and ATS for the wheat when we can get going. Hopefully still maybe by the end of the week here. We'll have to play it by ear, and then once we get that done, maybe work on getting my tender trailer set up for chemicals. just made the long list of stuff we need to get kind of done before the next couple weeks, and especially stuff that we need to get done before we hit the fields. And I'm not liking how long the list is. I thought we were in pretty good shape, but I think it's just going to be a couple days work here, which I think we have now because of the weather and the rain this morning. So might not be the end of the world that we got rain, but I got to get this other stuff wrapped up. So it looks like it's just odds and sods today. So we'll get at it. Tuesday afternoon, depressing. It freaking pretty much rained all day. Did some odds and sods, but most of it was kind of in the drizzly rain, and I couldn't really do much camera action or filming. So it's wet. But I'll give you a lowdown on what we accomplished maybe tomorrow if it's a little nicer. Got to load wheat first thing in the morning. I'm tapping out, calling it a day. Wednesday morning. You can tell the sun is actually shining today. Fantastic. It's a little cool though. I would say probably 4 or 5 degrees. So not sure what today's going to bring in terms of weather. Hopefully it warms up a little bit more and the wind picks up and ground can dry out. Gonna be shipping wheat here quickly this morning, hopefully. If you can tell behind me the difference in the color in the steel. The top's that darker gray and the bottom's a light gray. Mornings like this when there's kind of a big temperature change or kind of like a heavy dew, the sheets on the steel on the bins can actually tell you how much you got in there. So I've been shipping out of this bin right here, and I should get one more truck out of it before I have to switch to the other bin. Nothing better than that. Well, it's been a bit of a crazy day today. Loaded the first truck of wheat and basically got stuck doing, let's say stuck. I committed to a phone call about some farm organization stuff, and then just had some visitors for the morning. It seemed like didn't get much done. I got some 28 mixed up. I'll show you that a second here. Went and got the tractor with the front tank, as you can see behind me here. So got to figure out the plumbing on it for the liquid fertilizer. We'll get to that probably on a wet day here. It's talking kind of catchy on the weekend, so I'll probably focus on that because I really want to get some 28 out on the wheat, hopefully tomorrow if we're lucky, and Friday, Saturday if the weather cooperates. They're talking rain moving in Saturday night. Our 28, I pre-mixed a whole bunch of 28 in ATS, ammonia thiosulfate. So I'm basically going for about 130 pounds of N and about 15 pounds of sulfur. So this is my contraption that I have set up in terms of mixing everything together. I basically have sulfur going in one side, 28 going in another. I had a T there, and the T would have gone to the pump with the meter on it. That's the meter that I use there. So I'm able to put so many gallons of sulfur in, and then I put the rest of the 20 I need based on the blend that I have set up to put on the wheat. Basically I use one of the empty tanks behind me. I pump the sulfur in, then I pump the 28 up to the recommended amount that I need. So I did mixed up like 19,000 gallons of sulfur and 28s. That took, oh, jeepers creepers, probably like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to do all that. And then the sprayer is all ready to go with the big fatty tires on her. The width was fairly wide. I got tram lines on my wheat, so I wanted to suck that back in a little bit. So I got the center of the tires on 120, which will work better for the tram lines. So the sprayer is ready to go. I also installed a special system that measures the volume in the tank. I'll show you that when I do 28. I think with that, I'm going to wrap up the video for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. If you're out in the fields, be safe. And hopefully the weather cooperates and you get some work done. If you're not in the fields, well, I guess kick back and attempt to enjoy these videos, and I'll keep you posted kind of as the spring progresses. But with that, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.